Imagine finally getting engaged after dreaming about it your entire life. Your friends gather around. Everyone is smiling. This is supposed to be the happiest night you've ever had. But just a few seconds later, nobody is talking about your engagement anymore. Instead, everyone is obsessed with one unexpected kiss. And just like that, the biggest moment of your life becomes someone else's love story. This is one of the funniest and most chaotic nights in Friends history. For Monica, this night was everything. She had imagined this exact moment for years. The proposal, the celebration, the congratulations, everything was finally perfect. But perfection inside the Friends universe never lasts very long. Before Monica can even enjoy being engaged, Ross and Rachel accidentally create a completely different headline. They kiss. It lasts only a moment, but that's all it takes. Suddenly everyone stops celebrating Monica and starts wondering the only question that matters. Are Ross and Rachel getting back together? Within seconds, the entire room completely forgets why they were celebrating in the first place. And Monica can actually feel her dream moment slipping away. Most people would probably stay quiet. Not Monica. She finally says what everyone else is avoiding. I've waited my whole life for this. And somehow tonight isn't even about me anymore. The room immediately goes silent. Because deep down, everyone realizes she's right. Ross quickly tries to calm everything down. It was just one kiss. Rachel agrees. It doesn't mean anything. Simple. Clear. Problem solved. Except, this group has one major weakness. Nobody can ever let anything stay simple. Before the conversation can finally end, Phoebe jumps in. With complete excitement, she starts asking wedding questions. Can she sing? Are they getting married? When is the ceremony? Within seconds, a tiny kiss suddenly sounds like a future marriage. Ross and Rachel are forced to explain themselves again, which only makes Monica even more invisible. Her engagement party has officially become Ross and Rachel News Network, and somehow, the chaos is only getting started. But while one relationship is creating drama, another one is quietly falling apart. Not because of cheating, not because of lies, but because of a lamp. Yes, a lamp. Rachel finds a beautiful decorative lamp. She absolutely loves it. To everyone else, it's just another piece of furniture. But to Rachel, it represents something much bigger. She wants the apartment to finally feel like hers too. For years, Monica has organized every inch of this apartment. Every plate, every chair, every picture frame, everything has a place. Rachel slowly realizes something uncomfortable. Even though they both live there, it still feels like she's just renting space inside Monica's world. And that's exactly where the real argument begins. The lamp isn't actually the problem. Control is. Rachel wants to decorate. Monica wants everything exactly where she's planned it. Neither of them says that directly. Instead, they argue about furniture. Because sometimes, people fight over objects, when the real fight is about feelings. Then disaster strikes. Rachel's favorite lamp suddenly crashes onto the floor and shatters into pieces. Complete silence. Monica insists it was an accident. Rachel doesn't believe a single word, because Monica has hated that lamp since the beginning. Now, Rachel starts wondering, was it really an accident? Or was this Monica's perfect opportunity? One broken lamp suddenly becomes a broken friendship. Neither of them wants to admit they're hurt. So instead, they start attacking each other in the most sarcastic ways possible. Tiny comments, fake smiles, backhanded compliments. Everything becomes a weapon, until finally, Rachel says something that changes the entire mood. You still think this is your apartment? That sentence hits Monica harder than the broken lamp ever could. Because maybe she's right, but believe it or not, this isn't even the funniest conflict in this episode. Because just a little later, Rachel will face something she fears more than almost anything else. An eye doctor. And what happens inside that examination room turns into one of the most ridiculous scenes in Friends history. For most people, An eye exam is one of the easiest doctor's appointments you can have. Takes only a few minutes. No pain. No surgery. Nothing serious. But for Rachel, walking into an eye clinic feels like walking into a horror movie. The moment she sees the strange machines, her confidence completely disappears. She doesn't care what the doctor says. She doesn't care how safe the procedure is. All she can think about is one terrifying question. What if something touches my eye? And unfortunately for her, that's exactly what's about to happen. The doctor smiles politely. He explains everything. For exactly 2 seconds. Then the panic returns. Finally, Monica loses patience. She literally grabs Rachel's head, trying to keep her still long enough for the doctor to finish. The harder Monica tries to help, the funnier the situation becomes. Because Rachel reacts like she's fighting for survival, not getting an eye exam. But if you think this is embarrassing, wait until Rachel discovers she actually needs eye drops. Because that's where the real nightmare begins. The doctor calmly explains, "You have a small eye infection. No big deal. Just use these drops for a week. Problem solved." Rachel immediately refuses. "I don't put things in my eyes." The doctor doesn't argue. Instead, he quietly says something that changes everything. "Okay, then I'll see you in 3 months. When you need a glass eye." Silence. Rachel freezes. Was he serious? Probably not. Did it work? Absolutely. She grabs the medicine immediately. Back at the apartment, Monica volunteers to help. Simple plan. Tilt your head back. Open your eyes. 1 tiny drop. Done. Sounds easy. Except, Rachel keeps closing her eyes every single time. She flinches. She screams. She turns away. She even starts predicting where Monica's hand is moving. At one point, it honestly looks less like medical treatment and more like an action movie. Monica finally has enough. Instead of asking nicely, she tackles Rachel onto the couch. Rachel starts laughing, then screaming, then laughing again. The two of them wrestle across the apartment, trying to win a fight over a tiny bottle of eye drops. If anyone walked into the apartment at that exact moment, they would have assumed someone was losing a wrestling championship, not treating an eye infection. This scene isn't hilarious because of the eye drops. It's hilarious because everyone knows someone exactly like Rachel. Someone who's completely fearless, until it's time for a simple medical appointment. Suddenly, the bravest person in the room becomes the biggest coward. And that's what makes the comedy feel so real. But while Rachel is fighting eye drops, someone else is fighting something much more dangerous. Monica's obsession with perfection. And that obsession is about to push everyone around her completely over the edge. Every friend in the group has something they're known for. Joey loves food. Chandler hides behind jokes. Phoebe lives in her own wonderfully weird world. Ross overthinks everything. Rachel can be a little spoiled. But Monica, she has one habit that controls almost every part of her life. She has to keep everything perfect, not just clean, perfect. And today, everyone decides to prove just how impossible that makes living with her. It begins with something so small, most people wouldn't even notice. The green ottoman. Someone casually moves it across the room. To everyone else, it still looks completely fine. But Monica notices instantly. Not after a minute. Not after an hour. The second she walks into the apartment. She freezes, smiles awkwardly, and politely says, "Maybe just for fun. Let's see how it looked in the old spot." That's Monica's way of saying, put it back exactly where it belongs. Now everyone starts teasing her. They remind her about every strange habit she's ever had. The magazines, the towels, the furniture, the coasters, even the way shoes are supposed to sit by the door. Monica laughs at first. Then she makes one huge mistake. She says, "I can be spontaneous." The room immediately goes silent, because nobody believes her, not even a little. So her friends create a challenge. Don't pay a bill immediately. Leave a glass on the table, without a coaster. Leave your shoes lying around. Ignore the mess. Basically, Live like a normal person, Monica confidently accepts, for about 5 seconds. Then her imagination completely takes over. She pictures water rings destroying the coffee table, shoes sitting in the hallway, everything out of place. She can't handle it. Finally, she explodes. "Stop! I have to fix it." And in that moment, everyone bursts into laughter, because they knew exactly how this would end. But believe it or not, Monica's biggest meltdown still hasn't happened, because Thanksgiving is coming, and one tiny mistake is about to destroy an entire holiday. Monica spends hours preparing the perfect Thanksgiving dinner. Every single friend wants something different. One wants mashed potatoes. Another wants tater tots. Someone else wants peas and onions. Instead of saying no, Monica decides she'll make everything. She wants everyone happy. She wants this Thanksgiving to be perfect. But perfection comes with pressure. And pressure always creates mistakes. Right before dinner, the group leaves the apartment for just a few minutes. Someone asks, "Did you bring the keys?" Everyone assumes someone else has them. Nobody actually does. Seconds later, the apartment door slams shut. Locked. Inside,